Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Due to some issues, we're actually going to have to do some rebranding, a new logo, a new name. We're looking at getting that out by the end of the week. But with that being said,
what is up?
And on this week's episode, we're going to be doing our way too early NFL predictions, division by division, maybe throwing out a way too early Super Bowl pick. We're going to do it by record. We all have our records down right now. We may have some bold takes, some hot takes, but my man J5 is going to take over as the host.
All right, Gib. Let's do the AFC South.
AFC South. All right, so I've got the Colts winning this one at 10-6. The Texans following that at 8-8, and then the Titans at 6-10, and lastly, I got the Jaguars at 2-14. The reasoning for all of this, I've got the Colts at 10-6. I think their run game is really strong this year. I really like the addition of Jonathan Taylor. I think Michael Pittman is also a good pickup, help out T.Y. Hilton. Phillip Rivers is going to be a good game manager for them, and that defense is going to do enough to go 10-6. 8-8 for the Texans. I think Bill O'Brien and that team kind of slow down this year, strictly because of Bill O'Brien. I don't like him as coach or GM. DeAndre Hopkins, that's quite a big loss. Titans at 6-10. This is probably my boldest take. I don't think Derrick Henry can quite do what he did last year and carry that team. I also don't think Ryan Tannehill is as good as he was last year. He doesn't have as much to play for. He's been paid now. So I just don't think they're as good. And lastly, the Jaguars 2-14. That roster's terrible. We know this. I have them as the worst record in the NFL, which would mean they get Trevor Lawrence. And, I mean, I feel like we're all going to say the same thing about Jacksonville, that they're very bad.
If you have a breakout team in this division, who do you think it'll be?
Absolutely the Colts. Well, like I said, I love their draft. Malik Hooker hasn't been able to play football, like, ever. I'll still like him. I think he's pretty good.
Agreed.
Darius Leonard's there. I think Phillip Rivers is a much improved option at quarterback over Jacoby Brissett, and I still really like Frank Reich. I really like that team.
The Jaguars, you said they win 2 games this year?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, they're definitely going to tank for Trevor. The Titans, that was a bit of a shock from you to say they're going 6-10, which I can see it, but I can also see them being the clear-cut favorite in that division.
I understand them. I'm not going to argue with you if you have them winning their division. I mean, that's a normal take, but they lost Conklin. They lost Logan Ryan, who was their best corner last year. And they also lost
Mariota.
Mariota, which gave
Jarrell
Tannehill.
Casey.
Jarrell Casey, that's who it was. They traded him for a 7th-round pick. That was awful.
They literally just shipped him to Denver.
Yeah, okay.
Cog, let's hear your predictions for the AFC South as well.
All right, starting out with the Texans, I actually have them going 11-5, getting first place. Now, this one could be a big change right here. I understand that, but I think Deshaun Watson is the best player in this division, and I feel like he can win football games just because he's that good. And then at second, I got the Titans. I think they go 10-6 is what I got them right now. I think 10-6 is pretty respectable. I don't think they're as good of a football team as they were last year, but I still think behind the run game of Derrick Henry, I still think they can win football games. And at third in the division, I actually have the Colts at 9-7. So I have 3 pretty good records at the top of the division. I think the Colts, I don't think they get worse. I don't think there's any way they get worse. Phillip Rivers, although he's been good throughout his career, if he looks like he did last year, I don't know if that's a huge upgrade. I really don't know. But the run game looks good. The offensive line's studly. I like the Malik Hooker take by Gibb. I think he could be really good. And then, obviously, at last, the Jaguars. They're just terrible. They're going to be horrible. I did have them winning 3 games, though. I think Gardner Minshew has like a couple games where he plays really good for some reason. And they win 3 games, but besides that, that's pretty much it.
So, who is your sleeper team in this division?
Sleeper team's still the Colts. I think the Colts can win this division. I think there's 3 teams that can win this division for sure. The Colts, they added one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in college football, and they got a couple running backs now to run behind that big offensive line.
It fits their scheme really well, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and they can take pressure off Phillip Rivers, allow him to hand the ball off a lot. And, we'll see how that goes. I think they're definitely the sleeper team, though.
Yeah, the growing theme in this division we say every year, there are 4 teams that competes every year. I mean, we know the Jaguars are not the team they've been in the past couple of years. But, 2 years ago they were the AFC Championship versus the Patriots.
If they had a capable quarterback, they may have made the Super Bowl.
And then, the Titans AFC Championship last year.
Right.
The Texans are always 1 game behind. They're 1 game close. The Colts, every other year we've seen, without Andrew Luck last year, that really hurt them. But like both of y'all said, Phillip Rivers, I think there's an upgrade to it, but there's also, if he plays like last year, he's the same as Jacoby Brissett in certain ways. Reese, let's hear your take on the AFC South.
I have the Titans winning this division at 11-5. I just think Derrick Henry. I think he does put up not quite the same numbers, but I mean good enough. I think Tannehill game manages his way to win this division. I have the Colts at 10-6. They're building something special over there. They got a young defense, great O-line, and I think if you let Tannehill game manage instead of try to sling the ball 40 times a game, I think that'll be better off for them. And then I have the Texans at 8-8. I just think they have no weapons. I mean,
losing D-Hop was huge.
That hurt.
Yeah.
But I still think Deshaun Watson puts up MVP caliber numbers without us. That's my hot
I think
take.
he goes crazy too.
Oh, they also did add Brandon Cooks, who is not D-Hop by any chance.
He's also not terrible.
But he's a good receiver.
Very serviceable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Texans at 8-8, and then I have obviously Jaguars. I haven't won in 3 games. Not the worst team in the league on mine, but still a bad team tanking for that first pick.
When you trade away all your talent, Jalen Ramsey, AJ Boye, Leonard Fournette's
Soon
next.
to be Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, soon to be Ngakoue. They're about to trade Fournette, like I said. They have absolutely no weapons. Their coaching's terrible. They drafted okay for the most part, but it seems like they draft D-end every year. I mean, this year was K'Lavon Chaisson.
Let's not forget C.J. Henderson early.
Yeah, I like that pick, though. I think if you're a DB and you're going to Jacksonville, you got it made in a certain point. If you look at it like this, DeAndre Hopkins is out of that division. Okay, you still have – the Titans have –
He's going up against Corey Davis and Michael Pittman.
Yeah, absolutely. And T.Y. Hilton, who's
T.Y.
slowing
Hilton's
down.
slot, though.
Yeah, he's slowing down a little bit, and that's not really C.J. Henderson's game. But I think good first round. After that, not really so much. But, yeah, Jacksonville, I don't expect them to do too much this year.
Who wants to play in Jacksonville?
Yeah, let's be honest. Yeah, no one.
We all had very similar takes in that division.
Yeah.
And there's 3 solid teams and 1 crap team. That's basically what
Yeah.
it is.
I think any of those 3 teams could win it, honestly. Any team.
Texans could – honestly, they have a chance to win the AFC.
Oh, yeah,
if
if Bill
Deshaun
O'Brien
Watson.
doesn't – if he figures out how to
Coach?
– yeah, like if he can
And
just
manage.
let Deshaun Watson
He has a top
go
5
crazy.
quarterback in the league,
And
arguably
if he
top
can
3.
get that defense to do
would say top
something.
3.
Yeah.
Deshaun
Deshaun Watson,
dog.
he can lead you to the promised land. The Colts have just a very solid roster all around and a good coach. And
Young,
a good
solid
GM.
roster.
We're all
Yeah.
very high on the Colts,
Yeah.
I agree.
which
I
is
like
Jack's
Colts.
favorite team.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
Colts
Let's mention
fan,
that.
and I'm going to continue to stay high on them. All right, let's switch over to the AFC North. Let's go, Reese. Start us off here.
I have the Ravens dominating the division. I think most people will. I mean, you just look what they did last year. They got an MVP caliber quarterback. I mean, I just think they have that explosive offense. They're not too many teams are going to be beating them. I have the Steelers at 9-7 in second place. I think if Big Ben can come back, I mean, he's obviously not what he used to be, but I think he can do his part, and then that young defense I think can hold up like they did last year, string a bunch of wins together. And then I have the 8-8 Browns. I'm not high on them at all. I just think a lot of head cases over there. Coaching isn't the best. I just don't like that team.
Odell
at all.
Beckham.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have Joe Burrow's first year winning 6 games, 6-10, which isn't too bad. I mean,
that's good.
that's
for
a good
rookie.
year.
with like with what's given to him, I mean,
Yeah, not
not
a great
the best
roster.
team around him at all.
We don't know if he has a good coach yet.
I think he can lead him to 6 wins, just string a few together. I think he can do it. But yeah, I think the Ravens dominate the division easily.
I feel that. Cog.
All right, so I actually still have the Ravens dominating as well, 13-3. Now, I do think Lamar Jackson is not as good as he was last year because I just don't think it's possible to duplicate those numbers. I really don't. I don't think he can do it. Now, he may come out and prove me wrong, play 10 times better. But I still think that's the best team in the division, 13-3. Moving on, that team's good. All right, the Steelers is who I got at second, winning 9 games, going 9-7. I think this completely depends on Big Ben. I think we can all agree on that. Is
But
Big
even
Ben,
if it doesn't depend on Big Ben, I mean, they won 8
gonna be
games
a
last
solid
year.
still
team.
good. Team
With
is
That
still
defense,
very
Doug
that
Hodges
defense is
and
incredible.
Mason Rudolph. So it's,
right. That defense is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
and a good coach.
And that just
Mike
proves
Tomlin's
if they have
top
Big Ben
notch.
back there, how much better they could be.
Right.
If they can win that.
And if
game
he's
with
back
Doug
to just
Hodges.
a very not elite but above average level, they'll be just fine.
I think if he's not good, then you can maybe switch them in the Browns. But I think he'll be good enough to win 9 games. I think that's very, very feasible. And at third place in the division, I got the Browns going 8-8. I think they're a very average team. Me and Reese have very similar takes on this division, but I hope Baker can pick it up. I'm a big Baker fan, but I just don't think. I don't know. I'm not huge on them. I'm also not saying they're going to be a bad team. I think they're going to be very average. And then Coming in last place, I have the Bengals tied for the worst record in the league, 3-13.
Wow.
I love Joe Burrow, but I don't like this. I don't like the situation in Cincinnati this year.
Yeah,
I think they do bad this year, get a good draft pick, and they start rebuilding, and I think they'll end up being a good team in a couple years.
And let's be honest, that's not the worst thing that could happen. Is
Oh, yeah.
them get
Honestly,
a horrible
if I'm a
record and they
Bengals
end up with
fan-
Gregory Rousseau or Penny Sewell.
Yeah, if I'm a Bengals fan, I'm totally fine with winning 3 games.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I have them winning 6 games, but if you're a Bengals fan, you probably don't want them to win that many games at all.
Right.
All right, Gil, let's hear your take.
All right, so I'm gonna change it up here a little bit. I have the Browns winning this division at 11-5. The
Good
Ravens
God.
in second place
The
at 10-6.
Browns at
Gosh.
11-5.
The Steelers at 9-7, and just like Reese, have the Bengals at 6-10. Let me explain my Browns take right here. I feel like their biggest issues last year weren't Baker Mayfield and Odell. Although I do think Odell's a head case, I don't love him. But I thought Kevin Stefanski was a great addition as a head coach. They have 2 monster running backs. They're going to do so much play action. I thought their biggest issue last year, aside from Freddie Kitchens, was that O-line. They added Conklin. Or is that right?
Yeah,
they added Conklin and Jedrick Wills.
Wills.
That's 2 quality day 1 tackles
That's
right
a good
there.
point. That's a good point.
Kareem Hunt is going to play, assuming he's healthy, a whole season. Also added Austin Hooper. Baker's got all the weapons, and that defense wasn't bad last year.
Yeah,
I think
if
he
Baker
literally
doesn't go
had-
out,
yeah.
if Baker doesn't go out this year and prove,
Oh,
then
yes.
he
That-
has proved that he cannot play in this league.
But I'm a Baker fan.
Right.
Although he wasn't good last year, I'm fully aware of that. I'm not like a Baker
Yeah,
homer.
I'm confident in Baker Mayfield because
But-
there was glimpses in his rookie year.
I think
Mainly
we
if he can just fix his red zone issues. Like
Yeah.
if you look at his numbers, like he wasn't that bad except in the red zone. Like
Mm-hmm.
he just sucked, and he was so good there his rookie year, which is kind of weird. how he
Exactly.
just
That's
got
why I
much
still have
worse.
so much faith in him, is because he was so dynamic his rookie year, and he's got Landry, Hooper,
Oh, yeah.
and Njoku.
Odell.
They
Yeah.
drafted Donovan Peoples-Jones really late. Good pick.
Great pick.
Really good
Great
pick. And I think that
pick.
O-line, I think that team's good this year.
Yeah, Baker
Ravens. You first. Finish with the Browns.
Baker has no excuses to have a bad year this year.
Yeah,
he has all the
absolutely
weapons in the world.
I feel
There's,
like we can all agree on
if
that.
he has
If
a
you-
bad year this year, then something's
If you look
gotta
top
change.
to bottom of that roster, top notch in the league. I mean, you have one of the best young defensive ends in football, Miles Garrett.
Assuming he doesn't
Assuming
beat
he's
anybody
going
this
to
year.
be
Hopefully he
able to
doesn't.
play.
Assuming anybody's playing.
Yeah, that's
keep
also
this in
true.
mind.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, top notch running back.
Top 3 running back last year, 100%.
Yeah.
He was very good.
Yeah, he last
Arguably.
year at least. Yeah.
All right, who else you got, Gib?
Ravens at 10-6. Like Cog said, Lamar can't do that again. That's difficult. I'm a Louisville fan. I love Lamar Jackson. But that's difficult.
Are you really a Louisville fan?
Am
though?
I really a Louisville fan? I'm a LSU.
I'm pretty sure on our last episode we heard, "Oh LSU, oh LSU,
Oh, Joe Burrow."
Go Tigers. Go Cards.
Go Tigers.
Moving on. Moving on. Dobbins was a good pick. That O-line's good. We know that. I just don't think Lamar can duplicate what he did last year. That's literally the only difference with this team. I don't think he's bad by any means, but he broke records last year.
Mm-hmm.
He ran the ball too much.
Yes, he can't do that again.
He's going to die.
And if I would love to be proved wrong and they go 14-2.
But then again, people's been saying that since his
That's fine. You
sophomore
know
year at
what? Prove
Louisville.
me wrong
that's
again.
true.
I love
But
Lamar.
it takes one hit, and then
That's all.
Takes
9-7
one hit from the
Steelers.
wrong guy.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to have the same take on the Steelers this year. Like, if Ben's healthy, they're probably
9
going
and
to be
7,
pretty
8 and 8,
good.
10 and 10 and 6.
If he's not, then they'll be a little bit below average. And Bengals, I like Burrow a lot. I think he's got some decent weapons. His O-line sucks. The defense is pretty bad. 6-10. I feel like that's fair.
All right, moving on. Let's go
I
to
think
the
that Browns take is a little
Probably going to be
out
the
there.
boldest take.
Yeah,
we
probably
have
the boldest take
overall.
tonight for sure.
But that's okay. We'll go. We'll just
All right, let's move on to the AFC West, starting off with Cog here.
NFC West. 1 second, let me pull it up. All right, so NFC West, I got
AFC West, Cog.
AFC West. My fault. My fault.
Staying with the AFC.
AFC West. Okay, I got the Chiefs winning the division,
Yeah,
bro.
I think
That's just a
I think
given.
everyone agrees with
I do
that.
think they go 12-4 is what I got them going. 12-4. I think they lose a couple, but I still think they're probably the best team in the league. I mean, they got the most talented quarterback of all time. I'm going to go ahead and saying that.
Face of the NFL for sure.
Oh yeah. All right, so here's one of my bold takes. As a Broncos fan, I firmly believe in Denver. I really do. They had a great draft. I mean, some would even say top 3 draft.
I would argue the best.
I mean, it was a great draft. Then you add Jarrell Casey for a 7th round pick. You already got Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. I mean, the defense is loaded, and Drew Lock has the weapons. And Drew Lock is going to perform this year.
And
It's happening.
It's Drew Lock.
Drew Lock is going to perform. They are winning 11 games in the division, 11-5, going 5-1 in the division. I think that is very possible for the Broncos.
I'm tired of everyone else's bold takes. I'm going to throw one out here.
Okay.
The Broncos players will not respond to their head coach due to the fact that he's a racist. So, that being said,
Good God.
okay, that being
Moving
said,
on from political issues.
that being said, the Broncos underachieved this year, 6-10.
Okay, well, you're stupid. All right, the Raiders, I got them going 6-10.
Said the one who had the Broncos having the best
Keep-
draft.
Okay,
Just go.
the
Just
Broncos
go.
draft was incredible, but
Bad
the
team.
Raiders got
Bad
them going
players,
6
bad
and
coaches.
10. They're not horrible. I mean, I think they're a decent team. And then I got the Chargers going 2-14. I think they're horrible.
Jesus.
Okay, I don't know why I think they're so bad, but I just see it happening.
Look,
dude.
okay, if you look up and down that roster again, not a terrible roster by any means. No quarterback. Not a
Tyrod
great
Taylor.
offensive
I was
line.
about to say no O-line.
Good defense. Good defense.
Great defense. That is the one thing they can just win some games
Yeah.
because defense.
I think they win 5 to 7 wins. I think that is their
No.
range this year.
Let's think that there's fans in the stadiums this year. They have no home field advantage.
Oh yeah.
Very
That's
true.
always going to be
Yeah.
an issue for them until they move.
Yeah.
And the other
agree
three
with that.
teams in the division normally have great home field advantage.
Absolutely.
And they're good. Let's
And-
not.
yeah.
let's
Yeah,
not-
they have good rosters right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's pretty much it for the.
All right, Penny,
AFC
let's hear
West.
it.
And I got the Chiefs winning this one. I mean, come on. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is going to lead them to the promised land year
Yeah.
after year
Next,
after year after
next.
year.
Chiefs
Yeah.
next, yeah.
I got the Broncos second, going 8-8. I think Drew Lock. I mean, doesn't have an MVP year, but he has a year where I think he can lead them to 8 wins. Obviously,
Room to improve.
room to improve, but getting better. The defense looking great. I mean, Judy is a new weapon. I think he has a big rookie year.
Great receiving core. Just throwing that out there.
I got the Chargers going 6-10. I mean, young team, but I think Herbert can do it. And I mean,
Is Herbert gonna play in it?
Yeah, I
That
don't know.
is
If,
true,
I don't know if
but
this is the Herbert year.
I think they go Tyrod this year.
Yeah, I
honestly.
agree.
I think they start Tyrod and then they throw Herbert in there when they lose 5 or 6 in a row, and I think he actually plays good.
You
I
see
think
that
that
happen a
makes
lot.
sense.
That happened with the Browns 2 years ago. They
Yes.
doing Baker.
Same quarterback, Tyrod.
And
Yeah,
then
it was.
That's a good point.
I got the Raiders at 5-11. I mean, I've never been high on them like the last 5 years. They're just there. They're
By
always
the way, their
there.
highest paid player on the roster is their head coach. Let's just throw that out there. So
They're always
Good.
just there. I mean, they're never really competing. If we're being honest, they're never really competing. They're always just playing games. What they're doing. Yeah, they're 5-11 this year.
All right.
alrighty, Gibbs here.
Chiefs winning 13-3. I want to say one thing about them other than Patrick Mahomes. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm in love with him. I think that is a great
Pause.
Pause. No homo. Pause. But I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire has a monster season. Just makes that offense that much better. I also have the Broncos at 11-5.
Yes,
I know
sir.
Cog already talked about it. As a Bears fan, I really like Vic Fangio. I've seen what he can do with the defense. AJ Boye, Kareem Jackson. We know about Bradley Chubb. We know Von Miller.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Justin
Justin
Simmons.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Jarrell
Jeffrey's
Casey.
on the Titans.
We haven't talked about Justin Simmons. He might be a top 3 safety in football last year. He was very good.
Incredible.
And the offense.
Also adding Melvin Gordon as a backup.
Melvin
running back.
Gordon, Philip Lindsay.
3 yard per carry running back. Let's
But
not
he had
forget
no
that.
O-line.
Hey,
now he has Cushenberry, Risner.
Yeah.
That,
all right.
that
let's-
O-line improved in the draft. We got Judy, KJ Hamler, Noah Fant. I think Drew Lock's the real deal, too. I'm a fan of him. I don't love him, but I think with the weapons,
The only thing that's going to save Denver this year is Jesus Christ himself.
I think Denver has a good season. They also, I don't know who their OC is. They got
I'm
a
not
new
sure.
one.
Yeah. They
Oh,
did
it was Giants, Pat Shermer.
Yeah,
I like Pat
Pat-
Shermer
yeah.
a lot.
Oh.
Pat Shermer is an
Don't-
OC. Took not Kirk Cousins, took Case Keenum and the Vikings to the
This
NFC
did
Championship.
happen. That did.
Don't
happened.
even get me started on Pat Shermer. I'm
That
sorry.
did
Let's
happen.
all right. Let's just act like he's a bad offense coordinator
Let's
then.
act
Okay.
like he is a bad
I have-
football
Continue.
coach.
Let's
I
get
have
off
the
the
Ra-
Broncos. Obviously, the Broncos is a heated
me and Cog
argument.
Like them.
I mean, it's a kind of two.
Raiders at 7-9. I don't know what I can say about this team. 7-9. Josh Jacobs is good. Derek Carr's decent. They need to change something up. If I'm being honest,
Bad
They're
draft
just
picks.
Switch the
average.
colors. Might as well just change up the whole franchise. Bad
if
franchise.
They are in Las Vegas.
If there was any Kentucky
That's
fans in
true.
here, they'd be harping over Lynn Bowden right now. But pass. And I have the Chargers at 5-11. With no fans, I think they can play Tyrod the entire year, which is good for Herbert. I'm not a Herbert fan. I'm very open about that. I do not like him.
Okay, well, let's see. It is June, right?
Yep.
Let's see. 7-8 months ago in September, Justin Herbert is the greatest player in college football, says Gibb. And Oregon.
I thought
repeat,
Oregon would beat Auburn, and Jack thought I was delusional for saying that. And now he makes up stuff that I said Justin Herbert was Jesus.
War Eagle.
Moving
Justin Herbert
on.
is good at football. Moving on, let's go to the last AFC team, the AFC East. Let's hear it, Gibb.
Bad teams
AFC
everywhere.
East. I agree.
The worst division in
And-
football.
Oh, I agree also. This is another bold take, and I don't know if I even agree with it myself, but I'm going to do it. 9-7, New York Jets. I hate Adam Gase.
Oh,
I think he might be the worst coach in the NFL, but they had a monster draft. Ashton Davis, Mekhi Becton, Denzel Mims. That was a really good draft for them. I think with Darnold getting some protection, gets Mims to throw to.
He
He's
needs
garbage.
to get an immune system. Then they can maybe win some games.
Le'Veon Bell with an offensive line behind in front of him is still a good
Also,
running back.
Ethan Coghill is faster than Le'Veon Bell. That is confirmed.
I think the Jets are a pretty good football team. I really like that defense too. Marcus May, Jamal Adams.
Maybe Jamal Adams.
Yeah, if Jamal Adams.
Jamal Adams. If throw
Cowboys
the
fans are
check
getting
at him,
happy.
dude.
Cowboys fans are getting real happy.
Number 2, I have the Bills at 7-9. Reason being, I like Diggs. I like that. I like Singletary a lot. I like that offense. Aside from Josh Allen, I'm not a Josh Allen fan. He reminds me a lot of Mitch last year in the sense that he was decent enough for that team to win football games. I think he falls off a little bit this year. Doesn't run quite as well, and that team wins 7 games. Patriots are 6-10. I'm not a Stidham fan. I think he's okay. I don't know what to think of the Patriots, though. They're going to win some games because they have a decent defense. That's a little bit of an understatement. They have a good defense and the most accomplished coach in NFL history. And also I have the Dolphins at 6-10. I think Tua starts a little bit later in the season. And not much to say about them. This is kind of a bridge year for them. I like Flores a lot. I like Devontae Parker a lot. The defense is decent. They're more of a we'll see what happens team. We're a future team. I like Tua, but this isn't the year for them.
I'm not even sure if Tua starts.
Oh, no. And if that doesn't,
I feel like they shouldn't start him.
I wouldn't.
Fitzmagic.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't start week 1 really badly.
Yeah.
I want Fitz to start the season.
Here's the only thing I have a problem with in that division.
The Jets?
The Jets.
It's got to be the Jets.
That actually, you know what? That makes it two problems.
Okay.
First
That's
off,
fair.
being the Jets.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
The reason I have the Jets is because I just don't like this division whatsoever.
That's true. I mean, that's fair.
So I'm going to say the Jets because I think Darnold can prove something this year. And I really like their draft. Like I said, they had another top 3. In my opinion, top 3 drafts from this past year. Broncos, Jets, Browns. Those 3 killed it. And I have them all making the playoffs basically because of that.
Here's the second problem with that. The last time Bill Belichick had a losing season is when Matt Castle was his starting quarterback after Tom Brady tore his ACL.
He went 10-6.
He went 10-6.
Matt Castle went 10-6. Didn't make the playoffs.
Well, let me say this: if Matt Castle can go 10-6, Jarrett Stidham could go 10-6.
I know and if that
so
happens,
6-10, I
so
don't
be
see
it.
it happening. I really don't.
That's very fair. I just don't know what to
If
make
Bill
of that team.
Belichick is your head coach, you're going to win games. I'm just going to throw
That's
it out
fair.
there. That is a winning organization. It is a dynasty with or without Tom Brady is what it is. Kyle, let's hear it.
All right, so winning the division, I got the Bills. I think up and down, they definitely got the best roster. I do think Josh Allen falls off a little bit as well, but I still think they win 9 games in that division. I think we can all agree that team is definitely the favorite.
Absolutely.
I know we can. There's an argument that they might not get first, but they're definitely the favorite.
Absolutely.
At second, I got the Patriots. Heron, I'm sorry, but I got them winning 5 games. I think Jared Stidham has not played an NFL game. There's no way I can
He
possibly.
doesn't have
say,
anybody to throw to either. Like
Agreed.
N'Keal Harry is his number.
Like Tom Brady wasn't even
Number
that great
one
of a quarterback
outside
there
receiver.
last year. He's Tom Brady, but he didn't have a great year. And so you're throwing Jared Stidham in his first year, throwing to absolute bums. I think they win some games, not a lot. Then third, I got the Dolphins, 5-11. Fitzmagic wins a couple games, maybe Tua. I don't know if I think they shouldn't play Tua at least the first 5 or 6 games. Let the dude rest. Being bad this year is not a bad thing. Being bad is an okay thing. I got the Jets 4-12. I hate the Jets. I just don't like them. Adam Gase is top 3 worst coach in the league. He would be the worst if it wasn't for Patricia, in my humble opinion. Patricia's terrible. Should never be a head coach ever, like maybe at a high school or something. But the Jets 4-12. I'm not huge on them, but they could also be like a team that wins 6 games, 7 games maybe. But I think the Bills definitely run away with this division, and I don't think they're great, but they added some good players, and it's just Josh Allen, how well he plays.
Let me tell you something, Cog. Jarrett Stidham threw the bums in college, and he's going to throw the bums in the NFL. That is either a blessing in disguise or it is a downfall of the start of his career. So we will see. Reese, let's hear it.
All right, I'm going to get through this one quick because this is the most boring division in football. But other than this hot take, I do have the Patriots winning the division at 10-6. I think Stidham can game manage the heck to win him 10 games.
I like it.
I'm not on Stidham, but I'm a fan of the coaching staff, the fan base, just the whole franchise. I think they can pull out 10 wins. 9-7 Bills, they're going to do what they did last year. I mean, just average team. Jets, Gase is going to continue the streak of being a terrible coach, losing games, get him out of here after this year. And then I got the Dolphins at 5-11. I think Fitzmagic can win. I mean, to me, he's a pretty good quarterback. He can win a few games, then throw 2 in there at the end of the season, let him.
You don't get the name Fitzmagic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Throw 2 in there at the end of the season, let him just get some reps. I think he'll win a game. They go 5-11.
Moving on, we're going to move on to the NFC division. Let's start off with the NFC East, going with Cog.
All right, so this division, there's 2 good teams, 2 bad teams. I think the Cowboys have a lot of talent. They do, but the secondary is terrible. I think the secondary is one of the worst secondaries in football. The Cowboys got to pick up the secondary. If somehow they did pull off Jamal Adams, that would be incredible. That team becomes really good. But I still have them going 10-6 because of that offense. That offense only got a little bit better with CeeDee Lamb. They did lose Travis Frederick, but I think that's replaceable. I think they can deal with that. 10-6. Second in the division, I got the Eagles also at 10-6. I think Carson Wentz has a better year this year. I've always been big on Wentz. Love Wentz. They gave him some weapons now. I think that team can go 10-6. Now, the bottom of the division, I have 2 really bad teams. The Redskins 3-13. I think they're horrible. I do not like Dwayne Haskins at all.
What record?
3-13.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I just don't like Dwayne Haskins at all. I think he's horrible.
Bias. Bias.
Not biased. I do not care that he went to Ohio State. I just don't think he's good at football.
The Buckeyes.
Okay. Ron Rivera is a great coach. I liked that. I liked them getting Ron Rivera, but I do not like Dwayne Haskins. I think they're going to have to do something there in the near future. And then again, the Giants 3-13. I also had them going 3-13. I think the Giants have potential to win like 5-6 games. Take a few from the Cowboys and Eagles just because if Daniel Jones can just hold on to the football, then they can win some games. But he had 18 fumbles last year. I don't know if I've fumbled the ball 18 times in my life, and he fumbled the ball 18 times.
His running back probably hasn't fumbled the ball 18 times in his life.
Yeah, and that's all I have to say. I'm not big on Daniel Jones. I know my boy Reese is huge on Daniel Jones, but
Future MVP.
The Giants are definitely my breakout team in that division. I don't know why.
Yeah. I like that.
I'm gonna go out and say it. If Saquon stays healthy, new coach, have no clue if he's going to be good or bad.
Joe Judge, we have
no
he
clue.
Could be horrible.
Terrible GMs, in my opinion. Daniel Jones, we don't know if he's going to.
If he can just hold on to the ball, like he played decent.
He had games where he showed
crazy.
glimpses of being very good, and he also fumbled and sucked.
He's just
so
not got the intangibles.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
got
know.
the
intangibles.
He's got the intangibles. We all know he's got the intangibles. He went to Duke University, played football. He has the intangibles.
All right, Gib, let's hear it.
All right, so I have the Eagles winning at 11-5. The Cowboys in second at 9-7. And then I also have the Giants and Redskins both at 3-13. I feel like I was a little bit lower on them than I probably should have been.
Agreed. Me too.
I don't know that they're – but we use playoffpredictors.com, so this is their actual schedules that we've been using game by game, so it's all legit. The Eagles at 11-5. I'm also a Wentz believer. I hated their draft just as much as anybody else. I thought Justin Jefferson would have been an incredible fit, and they took Rieger. I don't like Rieger, but it gives him more speed on the outside, if anything. That they
He's
need
still
that.
a good weapon, just not as good as Justin Jefferson.
Exactly.
in my humble
He's.
opinion.
I like Deshaun Jackson. He's healthy now. He can go deep a few times. Alshon Jeffrey's still there, and I'm really big on Miles Sanders. I really like Miles Sanders. That defense is pretty daggone good. Secondary improved a lot with Darius Slay. That's a huge get for them.
For sure.
11-5. Cowboys at 9-7. Offense incredible. I don't love Prescott. Jeez, I don't love Prescott, but with Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, Tyler Biadasz, Lael Collins, that he's got to be decent.
This offense put up numbers.
Absolutely, it's going to put
and
up
then
numbers
you
again.
add CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, that.
Issue being, the defense got worse. Sean Lee's another year older, another year more irrelevant.
Lost a great corner.
They lost Byron Jones. Huge loss.
Very big.
Their secondary is terrible. I'm not a fan of Trayvon Diggs. I feel like I watched him get burned too many times at Alabama, and he might be their number one corner day one. That's an issue. I don't love that. I just don't think their defense is any good at all other than DeMarcus Lawrence, Jalen Smith, and Leighton Vander Esch. 9-7. Missed the playoffs. Giants at 3-13. I like Barkley. I hope Daniel Jones can be decent, like Cog said, Butterfingers. But I don't know about that defense at all. I think the Redskins' defense is decent.
Yeah,
Montez
they're
Sweat,
deep.
Ryan Kerrigan, Chase Young.
I love Sweat, Chase Young. That's
Maybe
insane.
Reuben Foster plays. Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen.
But
Matthew
Dwayne
Ryan.
Haskins is at the queue.
I just don't like Haskins. And I think this is really good for them. They go 3-13 and hopefully draft Justin Fields with Ron Rivera
Maybe even
head
That's a
coach.
squad.
Who knows?
That's a squad.
Yeah.
You
I
get
would like
Justin
the
Fields
Redskins
in
if
that.
they did that. They would finally get something right.
I think
All right.
Fields fits in there. I
like
can see
that.
him
I
in
like
a
that.
Washington uniform.
I like Trey
can
Lance
see
there
it.
too.
That's not
Trey
bad,
Lance
too.
is good this year.
I like Tate Martell there.
Go to him.
All right, yeah. Let's move on from the Tate Martell take. Let's go to the NFC North.
Yeah.
You just not go?
No, he didn't go. He didn't go.
All right, I'll make
I
this one quick
apologize.
again because, I just hate this division just as much as any other. I got the Eagles winning 10-6. I'm a Wentz believer. I really am. I think he can lead them to the playoffs. 9-7 Cowboys, they're going to underachieve like they do every single year with the roster they have. Underachieve, yeah. I got the Giants at 3-13. I love Danny Dimes,
Danny
Too
Dimes,
dead.
baby.
3-13.
but I don't think he can do it. He's going to be MVP one day, but this year is not his year. They're not going
So
to do
you
it.
don't love him if you don't.
No, I
believe
love
in
him. He's going to be an MVP one year. Not
They
this
did get
year.
him an O-lineman.
This is not the year.
Did they really though?
Andrew
Okay,
Thomas?
They took a good one, but not the one they should have took. But he's still good.
He's
still good. He's a solid O-line.
Safe.
He's a safe pick.
And then with my worst record in the NFL, the Washington Redskins, the wasteland of the NFL, 1-15.
Whoa!
They get Trevor.
I
Is
don't,
that
I don't
good,
like
though?
Trevor in that red and nasty yellow, but whatever.
He's gonna look good in blue and white next year for the Colts because we're
Good
tanking
gosh.
for Trevor.
That's not happening.
I think you mean blue and orange, but continue.
Anyway,
I think you mean purple.
That didn't even make sense. Okay, continue.
all right, now let's go to the NFC North. Or did I forget someone?
No, you're good.
No,
No,
you're
we're
good.
good.
All right, NFC North. Let's go, Reese.
Pack attack here. They're going 9. They're going 9-7. Not the best year. Not Rodgers' best year, but I think they go 9-7, win the division. I got the Bears at 8-8. They're a good team. Good team. Good team. 7-9 Vikings might be worse than that. I'm not high on them at all. They fell off. 5-11 Lions. Same. 5 games for them. It's not bad, but I think they're still just a bad team overall.
Horrible
Bad, worst coach. One of the worst coaches.
Yeah.
Bad team.
I'm gonna have a breakout player in that division.
Let's hear it.
Kerryon Johnson, Detroit Lions.
I like it. I like it.
I don't like it. Okay.
He stays healthy.
If he can win the starting job over DeAndre Swift.
Oh, he'll win it. Here's the
No,
thing,
he
though.
won't.
He stays healthy. He's going to be Detroit's first 1,000-yard rusher in as many years
Since
it's
what?
been.
Probably Barry
Reggie Bush?
Sanders.
Probably Reggie Bush or
Did
Barry
Reggie Bush do
Sanders.
it? I think Reggie Bush did
Reggie
it.
Bush probably did.
If
do
so,
it.
that was
a
forever
long time ago.
Yes.
So he's my breakout player for sure.
Pre
Cog, let's hear it.
Megatron. All right. I'm also going pack attack with my boy Penny. 8-8. Not very good, but they're winning the
8-8.
division. Yeah, they're winning the division at
Gosh.
8-8. I think this
What a
division's
bum
not good.
division.
Yeah,
it was bad this year.
It's like there's not a clear horrible team, but none of them are good. All right, so I'm gonna go Bears also at 8-8. I think the defense is great, obviously, but Trubisky sucks. Moving on, I got the Lions.
Actually, time out. Can we all agree he is very garbage.
Oh yeah, he's bad at football.
UNC sucks.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yep. Put it here. Let's
All
go.
right, Lions at 6-10. I think Stafford can win games if he stays healthy. I'll always love Stafford, but they have the worst coach in football. And then I got the Vikings also at 6-10. I'm a little low on them. They're not the same team they have been in the past, but they can still have a decent year. Still a couple games from the Bears or the Lions. I think it's definitely possible.
Gib, let's hear it.
All right, I've got the Bears winning at 9-7. Full bias intended as a Bears fan. I wouldn't like this as a Bears fan if I'm being honest, but I just think the defense is too good, and I think Mitch/Nick Foles, whichever one it is too decent and wins 9 games. I think the Packers regress a little bit because of their draft. That was so bad.
Problems, locker room
The
problems.
worst draft ever.
Absolutely embarrassing. Vikings 6-10. I think Kirk regresses. I think Dalvin Cook, who might hold out.
Oh, that is new news.
We'll talk about that more on our next episode. But I've got them at 6-10. They also lost Everson Griffin and Xavier Rhodes, even though Rhodes was awful last year. Those have been like their guys these past 5 years.
Skull.
And the Lions at 5-11. Worst coach in football. Best case scenario for them, he gets fired week 2, and they end up being decent.
Stafford, baby.
Back to that Packers take. The draft didn't hurt or help them.
No, it hurt them because they didn't gain anything.
Here's the thing. It didn't hurt them because they didn't gain anything, but it also didn't help them because they didn't gain anything. So it was a terrible draft pick. We can all agree. If it did hurt them in a way, it would only hurt Aaron Rodgers.
His mentality.
performance.
No, his
Exactly, their
mentality.
quarterback.
But still,
There was definitely
the
areas
cheesehead atheist is going to
They
lead
heard
the
Aaron
team to
Jones,
8
too.
wins. That's what it's
They drafted A.J.
Pack
Dillon.
attack.
possible. Yeah, I mean, I didn't agree with the draft at all. But then again,
I thought Dillon was a
people
worse
are
pick
blowing
than
this out the
Love.
water. Aaron Rodgers is going to turn. What's he going to turn? 36, something like that.
37, man.
Something just ridiculous.
I want to say 37.
Yeah, that sounds right.
This dude can't play forever.
Agreed.
But you got to have someone now wasting a first round pick.
And not getting him a weapon.
I know. Not only that, but getting Jordan Love in the first round, I wasn't a huge fan of.
I don't hate the Love pick as much as Packers fans probably should.
Yeah.
It's just that their window right now is so small with Adams and Jones, and you have no number 2 receiver.
Also, they just got absolutely boned in the playoffs last year.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
They
I just
needed
think-
defense. They didn't get
200
defense.
some yards before contact. Before contact.
They got a QB2 who might not play for another 4 years. Like we don't know, but yeah, NFC North. It's definitely up for
Bad
grabs.
division.
Yeah,
Bad
bad division. What we got next? NFC West. Let's go with the NFC West. Let's hear it
Ooh.
from Gib.
All right, my favorite division to talk about.
Agreed.
Number
very,
one.
very good division. We
My
can all
best
agree.
division in football, in my opinion.
Top to bottom, 100%.
Absolutely. Going worst to first, I have the Arizona Cardinals at 13-3. Another bold take.
Oh my!
I think this offense is going to be insane this year.
I hope they suck.
I think Kyler
Because
Murray.
I hope they suck. Because I will come back to the second episode on our podcast and I will rub this in your face. that
and
they
that's
went
going to be
13-3.
very fair if this happens. If they suck, then I will take all the shame I deserve. But I think Kyler Murray has an MVP caliber season, possibly even wins it. I think Kenyon Drake looked really good at the end of last season. And they
Facts.
drafted
I'll
another
attest to
running
that.
back. Who'd they draft?
Oh, my goodness. Who did
I can't think of his name. He's decent at football.
Well,
Anyway,
I hope so if he got drafted.
He's a good player.
DeAndre
Good
Hopkins was a great pick, or was a great
Great. Christian
trade for
Kirk as
them,
well.
obviously. Christian Kirk's good. Larry Fitz is still there. And Isaiah Simmons, first-round pick. Stud.
I think all of our, at least,
Can we all agree? Best player in the draft.
Maybe.
Aside from
No,
Joe Burrow.
I know me, Cog, and Gib are really high on
Isaiah
him.
Simmons.
Heron, I don't know your thoughts on Isaiah Simmons.
Everybody
All
we
of us
talk
are
to
on it.
is
all
high
four of
on
us.
I think,
Yes.
that's one we actually all four agree on. Isaiah Simmons
Yes.
can literally play anything, anywhere.
What position does he play?
All
He
of
plays
them.
defense. That's
Defense.
what he plays.
All right, so
Cool,
let me
that's-
finish this division.
He plays
Super Bowl-
football positions.
Super Bowl drought for the Niners a little bit. They fall to 11-5. Still make the playoffs, 6th seed. Good team. I just think Jimmy G, decent.
Garbage.
I think that division got better with the Cardinals. Oh, I just don't think they can recreate what they did last year. Number 1 defenses always seem to regress just a little bit, just like the Bears did last year. So I think their defense gets a little bit worse. And I have the Seahawks at 11-5. Really like this team for having them as the 7th seed in the NFC. Love Russell Wilson. Not bringing back Clowney is probably going to hurt them a little bit, but
They also have the opportunity.
they can
bring
still
back Clowney.
potentially bring him back.
Yeah.
I also like the running backs are hopefully healthy by
Yeah.
playoff time. And lastly, I have the Rams at 6-10. I hate Jared Goff. I think he is bad. I love Sean McVay, but that team is just falling apart. They missed their window.
All right. I'm going to go ahead
I can
and
agree
give
with
my
that.
predictions for this. I also have the Cards winning the division. I think they're pretty good. I think Kyler Murray also has like an MVP caliber year. I love Kyler Murray. He's a stud. On to the next team. I like the Seahawks. I think they go 12-4. Russell Wilson, top 3 quarterback in the league. Love that dude. I think they win games. The Rams, 9-7.
Wow.
Yeah, I got them winning
I
9
like
games.
this.
Yeah, I got them winning 9 games. Jared Goff, not my favorite, but I think they're good enough. Then I got the 49ers dropping to last in the division at
I really
9-7
like that.
because I think they have a big Super Bowl drought, kind of like the Rams did last year where they just couldn't get anything
And you don't
going.
like Jimmy G.
I do not like Jimmy G. I think he sucks. And I think the running game slows down this year. They don't do that again. On to the next.
All right, I got Seahawks 12-4. Russell Wilson, your auntie's favorite quarterback. He's great. They're gonna win. I got the 49ers 11-5. I mean, yeah, they regress a little bit, but I still think they have all the intangibles to get a
The intangibles.
I got the Rams at 8-8. Goff. No, I don't think any of us like them now. Now that I heard y'all's opinion, yeah, they're falling apart. I mean, they're just losing guys. They got Aaron Donald. He can't do it all by himself.
And Ramsey.
And
Yeah.
They have
And-
the best 2 players at their position, arguably.
But then what else?
And they're still gonna go 8-8. And then I got the Cardinals at 8-8. I mean, they're going to get better. They're getting better, but I don't think this is their year. I think maybe next year, the year after, they're going to really take
That's
that next.
very fair,
next
too.
step. But I think this year they're 8-8.
On to the last division, the NFC South. Cog, let's hear it.
Okay, although I don't think it's the best division, it is the most top-heavy for sure.
Holy cow, yes.
Best 2 teams in football, possibly. Bold take. I think the Chiefs definitely compete with those 2. But you got the Bucks winning the division 13-3. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin,
Howard.
O.J. Howard. This offense is electric. I love that offense. I think Tom Brady finally gets some weapons. I think they're really good. The defense is no slouch either. Second in the division, I got the Saints at 12-4. Saints are probably the most talented team in the league. Like all around, I would venture to say that they are the most talented. Obviously, this past
Another political standpoint.
Whoa,
here.
no, pass.
Will the Saints players
No.
back up Drew Brees?
Okay,
No.
Michael
I'm
Thomas.
just going to leave it at that.
Michael
Leave
Thomas
it at
has
that.
already came out and said he knows Drew Brees isn't racist. Drew Brees probably shouldn't have spoken
On to
so
the next.
soon.
Go.
But
Next,
that's on to the
pass.
next. Falcons 9-7. Falcons are always average. They take They always compete with the Saints. I think they beat the Saints once. They probably even beat the Bucks once, just because that's what the Falcons do. And then the Panthers at 6-10. Teddy wins a couple games, but they're not great. On to the next.
Gabe, let's hear it.
All right, I've got the Broncos. Jeez. The Buccaneers at 14-2, the best record in the NFL.
When the Broncos change divisions.
I don't know. Okay, I feel like this team reminds me of that Peyton Manning Broncos team a lot.
Oh, yeah, where the whole team is
Offense
studly.
is
He's
just stacked, but the defense just isn't enough. Although I will say one quick thing about their defense, they drafted Antoine Winfield Jr. Their secondary was terrible last year. That was the issue. I really like him.
great young middle linebacker, Devin White.
Devin White's healthy, hopefully. I think
Hopefully.
that defense is better. Saints at 11-5. We know about the Saints at this point. I don't feel like I can say anything about them. Falcons 6-10. This is Dan Quinn's last leg. And Panthers at 4-12. Matt Rule has his terrible year before he ends up bringing that team to the top.
Hopefully getting Trevor Lawrence. That's where I want to see T-Law.
Or Justin Fields. Either
Or
one.
Justin
I'm
Fields.
okay
Either
with
one.
that.
Yep.
And to close it off here, Reese, let's hear it.
I got the Saints winning. I mean, they've been snubbed the last 2 years in the playoffs. They got to do it this year. If any year is their year, it's got to be this year. One
Drew
of those
Brees'
talented
last-
receivers.
Drew- last
This is- I
chance.
think this is it. This is it.
This
last
is Drew
year.
Brees'
Brees'
last
farewell
chance.
tour.
I have them going 12-4, but I also have the Buccaneers going 12-4. I mean, we all know about what the Buccaneers got. I mean, they're going to bring it. They're going to be good. I got the Falcons at 6-10, even though I love Julio to death, one of my favorite players. The defense isn't there. I mean, Matt Ryan, below average to me. I mean, I don't think he gets it done. And then the Panthers, new coach, fresh start. I think they go modest 6-10, but they have definitely a lot more room to grow and a young core getting built there.
We all pretty much agreed on that division.
Yeah.
And to close it off here, I want to hear y'all's hottest take of the night. Cog, what is your hottest take?
Probably going to go Or do you mean my take or
Yeah.
Okay, my hottest take probably Kyler Murray MVP. Going ahead and throwing that out there. Kyler Murray MVP.
Okay, Reese.
Aaron Rodgers win the Super Bowl.
And Gib, what's your hottest take?
I'm gonna say mine was the Browns.
100%.
Okay.
That's a
bold.
very hot
That's
take.
very bold.
And let's all collectively agree on the worst take of the night.
Mine with the Browns.
The Browns.
Mine
Okay.
with the
I
Browns.
think
That's so
we can all-
fair. I'm
yeah.
not gonna argue that.
I think we can all agree. But
Can
then
we
again,
all
the,
do a quick
the Browns.
Super Bowl way
I was gonna ask the
too
same thing.
early Super Bowl
Real
prediction.
quick.
Let's throw in a quick Super Bowl prediction. Let's hear it from Cog.
I'm going the Chiefs back to back, baby.
Ooh, okay.
Over who? Over who?
Over
Because the NFC's so hard to pick.
over the Saints farewell tour.
All right.
Reese, let's hear it.
I'm gonna agree with Cog. Patrick Mahomes, he's gonna get him a second win, and they're gonna play the Buccaneers. But you know what they're gonna do to him?
Gonna beat him.
They're gonna 30 piece him, but they're gonna do to him in the Super Bowl.
Just
Let me
just
throw
like
this
the
out here.
Broncos,
Let me throw
Peyton
this out
Manning
here.
True.
You just said Aaron Rodgers was going to win a Super Bowl.
I didn't say what year.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. Gib,
All right, and I have the Brown.
Whoa.
what?
That was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. I also have the Chiefs winning the AFC. I'm sorry, I'm the same. And on the NFC, this is so tough. I'm between a few teams, but I'm gonna say the Eagles.
Oh.
I'm gonna say the Eagles.
Now,
I was gonna say
who
that.
wins the Super Bowl?
the Chiefs.
Okay. Well.
Jalen Hurts
shoot.
leaving the
Sorry.
promised land, though.
Jalen Hurts.
And Jack, to finish us off, can you give us your early Super Bowl prediction?
I'm gonna go with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes, somebody different.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I really think I like Russell Wilson.
I love
he's
Wilson.
He's a top 2 quarterback in the league in my opinion. Him and Patty, they've got it. Pete Carroll's a great coach. They still got a great defense, Clowney or not.
I do
Their
think
offense.
to win a Super Bowl they need Clowney.
But
I-
dude, he's one of those
Clowney's very-
overrated guys in the NFL.
If they can
Slightly
just
above
make the playoffs, they have a very good
That's
shot.
my thing.
yeah,
I
they
had
can
them
win.
as the 7 seed, and I almost said them making
Yeah.
the Super Bowl.
And not to mention their run game is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
And Russell Wilson in the past hasn't had great weapons.
DK
now
Metcalf
you give him
improves.
DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. You have a
Right.
great run game with Chris Carson.
Two very solid receivers. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're tight ends. They have like 3
Will
very
Dissly,
solid
Greg
tight
Olsen.
ends.
Who's your AFC squad? That's
Hmm.
tough.
Yeah,
The AFC is kind of one.
there's 3 teams. Obviously the Chiefs.
Oh, there's one team.
No, I think
There's
no.
one.
There's
I
one
think,
guy,
yeah,
actually. His
there's-
name's Pat.
Yeah,
Name's Patrick.
Pat, not Jack.
There's one obviously like team that stands out. There's one team that